By the end of this video, you will know exactly which one of these you should use to create your online store, because we're going to go over the pros and the cons of every single e-commerce platform in this video. But make sure you stay till the end of the video because I have the hookup. I have exclusive discounted prices for all of these platforms, but I'm only going to share that with you at the end of this video. And last year, over $6 trillion was spent on online websites, and e-commerce is growing like crazy. But still, e-commerce only makes up around 18% of all retail sales, which means that right now is the perfect time to start your online store because there's still a ton of room to grow. And by the end of this year, it's expected that 65% of all Americans will purchase something online. But if you want to be one of the millions of people that are making money online, you're going to need to create a website, and you're going to need to use one of these platforms to do it. And let's get started first with Shopify, and we're going to go over the pros and the cons of Shopify. And let's start with the pros. And Shopify is one of the most popular e-commerce platforms out there. It's actually not the number one most popular. The number one most popular e-commerce platform is Woocommerce. And we're going to be talking about Woocommerce later in this video, so make sure you stay for that. But still, Shopify is the most popular e-commerce platform for professional e-commerce sellers with over 1.75 million people actively running e-commerce stores. And that's because Shopify is built from the ground up to support e-commerce. They also offer 24/7 support. And one of the big benefits of Shopify is you can choose from a ton of different free and paid themes. This is going to make it so your website will look beautiful. It's also the easiest e-commerce platform to set up. In fact, you can create an online store using Shopify in just 4 minutes. I did a video on this YouTube channel showing you exactly how to do that I'll link down below in the description. Another pro of Shopify is that I actually have a free 14-day trial that you can use to try out Shopify before you buy it. There's a link to that down below in the description as well. And when you use the link down below, you also get a free SSL certificate, and an SSL certificate will make sure that your website is secure so that you can accept credit card payments. Another pro of Shopify is they have a ton of apps, plugins, and integrations. So whatever you want your website to do, there's probably already an app or a plugin out there that can help you to do exactly that. Back in the old days, when someone would have an e-commerce store, you'd actually have to hire a developer to custom design certain elements of your website. But because Shopify has so many apps, so many plugins, you don't need to hire a developer 9 times out of 10. You could just go to their app store and use one of the existing solutions. However, the biggest con for Shopify is it's kind of expensive, starting at $29 a month for the most basic plan and going up from there. On top of that, if you want to use apps, plugins, or different integrations, you're going to have to pay even more money for those features. Another con with Shopify is there's limited customization for the product page and the checkout page. Some of the other platforms that we're going to be talking about later in this video allow you to have full customization, like Woocommerce, which is one of my favorite platforms. Again, make sure you stay for that because we're going to talk in depth about Woocommerce. And even though with Shopify you do have 24/7 support, the quality of the support has gone downhill a ton in the last few years. And as I mentioned, Shopify is $29 a month, but that's only if you sign up for the year plan. If you pay month to month, it's actually $39 a month, and it's even more expensive from there. So if you are looking for a cheaper option than Shopify, stay tuned for Woocommerce, which is actually a free e-commerce platform. But next up is Squarespace, and Squarespace helps you to build beautiful websites. They also offer 24/7 customer support. But the biggest con with Squarespace is that it's not built with e-commerce in mind. It started out as a place to build beautiful websites, and then later on, they added some e-commerce functionality. There's also not a lot of plugins or apps, so a lot of times there's certain things that you want your website to do that you just can't get your website to do if you're using Squarespace. And starting at $16 a month, Squarespace is more affordable than Shopify, but it's missing so many features that I don't recommend this platform unless you're an artist or a creator and you're just trying to make a beautiful website and that's your primary goal. But then maybe on the side, you're also going to be selling some CDs or some art or things like that as well. Wix is another platform that's easy to start and to set up. They also have a relatively large app marketplace, and it's a reliable platform with good security. Wix also has great search functions, which can improve your marketing and SEO. And for those that don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And you want to make sure that your website is properly optimized for search. And Wix does have this, but it's not really any more optimized than Shopify or even WooCommerce. All that being said, I don't recommend going with Wix for a number of different reasons. The biggest reason is because it started out as a website builder. From there, they added on the e-commerce functionality after they'd already built out the whole platform, and it shows. Wix is not built with e-commerce in mind. Unlike Shopify, where that's the main focus, Wix is mostly just a website builder where you can also sell some things if you want. There's a limited amount of support, and a lot of the features that you would expect as an e-commerce store owner, you just aren't going to get with Wix. GoDaddy is another one of those platforms I do not recommend that you use. They do have affordable pricings on their domain names, but a lot of people get tricked into buying their hosting packages, and they try to create an online store using GoDaddy.com hosting, and I do not recommend going with them to build your online store because it's just overpriced, and they don't have as much features and functionalities as other platforms that we're going to be talking about in this video. So stay tuned, because next up is Big Cartel, and Big Cartel is a free platform. You can put up to 5 products on your online store absolutely for free. It's simple to make a small store, and Big Cartel is made for artists and creative type people. But the cons with Big Cartel is there's just not enough features and not enough integrations. And I don't know anyone that uses Big Cartel that's actually a serious e-commerce seller. And yes, I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to start their e-commerce store for free, and they think that Big Cartel might be a good option. But the problem is, as your business starts to grow, Big Cartel is not going to be a good option, and it's going to be a big pain in the butt for you to move from Big Cartel to one of the other platforms. So I do not recommend going with Big Cartel when WooCommerce is also free, and keep watching because we are going to be talking about WooCommerce very soon. There's also limited templates, and they do not have 24/7 chat or phone support like some of the other platforms that we're talking about do. But if you're an artist or a creative type and you're just looking to sell some paintings, this actually might be a good solution for you. BigCommerce is another platform that used to be really popular, but they've since completely pivoted, and now they only cater to medium and large size businesses. And I still see people online recommending that you use BigCommerce, and BigCommerce used to be one of Shopify's top competitors, but nowadays do not even think about using BigCommerce unless you are a medium to large size business. Magento is another platform that used to be really popular 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they've since rebranded to Adobe Commerce. And the pros of this platform is that it's highly customizable. However, there's a lot of cons, and the first con is that it's extremely complex to use. You're going to need to hire a designer or developer to create your entire website. And I've been comparing all these different e-commerce platforms for a long time, and every single year I've recommended to avoid Magento, and usually people would write down in the comments how great Magento is, and it would always come from people overseas that were surely developers recommending this platform. And so ultimately I do not recommend this platform of Magento. But finally, let's talk about WooCommerce. And even though there are a ton of pros with WooCommerce, there's also a lot of cons with this platform. And the first big pro with WooCommerce is that it is 100% free, and it's the only e-commerce platform that is actually 100% free out there, sort of. If you want to have a WooCommerce website, you're going to have to pay a company to host your WooCommerce website. And there are a ton of different options out there, but paying for hosting is way more affordable than paying for a company like Shopify to host your website. It's going to cost you around $2 to $3 per month to host your own WooCommerce website if you use a site like Hostinger.com. And I have the hookup with Hostinger. There is a link down below in the description with a discount code that's going to give you an extra 10% off. And once you're paying for hosting, you can start as many WooCommerce websites as you want with no extra charge. And a big thing about WooCommerce is it's actually the #1 most popular e-commerce platform in the world, with over 64% of all e-commerce sellers using WooCommerce, which is understandable because it is the most affordable option out there. So a lot of people that are starting smaller e-commerce businesses will choose WooCommerce because it is technically free. Then make it so you can customize and modify your WooCommerce website so it can do anything that you want. And WooCommerce has the biggest library of plugins out of all the different e-commerce platforms. It even beats out Shopify. On top of that, it's only going to take you 5 minutes to set up your own WooCommerce website store. And there are a ton of free mobile-friendly templates that you can choose from to get your website looking pretty and very user-friendly right away. However, if you you want to pay a little extra money, there are some premium templates that you can use as well, but you really don't need to because the free templates are that good. But probably one of the biggest pros with WooCommerce is that it's fully customizable. You can change anything and everything that you want about your website. Unlike Shopify, where Shopify is a little bit locked down, they don't let you change certain aspects of your website. WooCommerce allows you to change the checkout page, the product page, whatever you want to change, you can change. But one of the big cons with WooCommerce is even though, yes, it is fully customizable, it's not exactly the most user-friendly e-commerce platform out there. Shopify is a lot easier to use than WooCommerce. Now, don't get me wrong, it's very easy to set up a basic WooCommerce website and get things going, but if you want to make deeper down changes in the code and really customize your website, you're going to need to spend some money and hire a professional unless you really know what you're doing. Because if you're not careful with a WooCommerce website, you could tweak something and break something extremely easily. Another con with WooCommerce is that a lot of the basic features are missing. Now, luckily, because they have such a big app and plugin catalog, you can usually find a plugin that will fix any issue that you might have. But that means that you're going to need to install a few different plugins in order just to start using WooCommerce and just doing some of the basic things that Shopify can do right out of the gate. Another con is that it's not as professional of a platform as Shopify. And since it is a free platform, there's almost no technical support. But usually if you have an issue with your WooCommerce website, you're kind of out of luck. You can go to forums, you can hire experts, but there's no chat that's going to help you solve your issue right away. And since with WooCommerce, you're having to host your website yourself, there's sometimes issues that come up that are really complicated to fix. And I've ran into this issue myself. My website went down and I wasn't sure what happened. So I had to contact the company that was hosting my website and they weren't really able to fix it. With Shopify, on the other hand, if your website goes down, if there's a problem, they're usually able to fix it a lot faster. But now let's talk about Amazon.com, which is maybe the biggest opportunity to make money online right now and a very easy way for you to start your own online store. And that's because Amazon is a $1.6 trillion company. And last year there was over $600 billion in sales on their platform. And what most people don't realize is that Amazon allows you to sell products on their website. And this is the easiest way I've found to create a legitimate passive income business. And about 50% of all e-commerce sales happen on Amazon.com. And last year alone, they spent over $10 billion on marketing, which means if you sell on Amazon, you don't need to spend as much money because they're already spending money to get customers to the platform. It's also easy to sign up and it's the easiest platform to get set up because you don't need to create an entire website if you're going to be selling on Amazon. All you need to do is create a single product page and get your product listed on the giant website that is Amazon. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a completely free 8-hour video that shows you step-by-step how you can sell on Amazon and take advantage of what's called Amazon FBA. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. And the way this works is any products you're trying to sell on Amazon, you can send into the Amazon warehouse, and anytime you get an order on their website, they'll pick, pack, and ship it out to the customer. This makes it so any products that you're selling are Prime eligible. And if you're selling Prime eligible products, you're going to get more sales. Now, there are some big cons with selling on Amazon. And the biggest con is that there is a lot of competition. There's a lot of other sellers already on Amazon. There's over 9 million sellers on Amazon and 4,000 new sellers joining every single day. And that makes sense because this is such a huge opportunity. There's over 300 million Prime customers. So of course, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be selling on Amazon, but don't get worried yet because even though there's 9 million sellers, there's only around 2 million active sellers. And of those 2 million active sellers, only 1 million are actually selling in the United States. And even of those 1 million, most of those sellers aren't even that active. But the crazy thing about this is that of the 1 million sellers in the United States, that's over 400,000 people that have made at least $100,000. So yes, there is a lot of competition on Amazon, but if you sell on Amazon correctly, you can avoid the competition. Another con for Amazon.com is they're going to charge you 15% of all the sales that you make on their website. However, there is a trick where you can use brand registry to get that down to 5%. And I talk about that in depth in my free Amazon FBA course that I'll give to you, link in the description. Another option is selling on Walmart.com, which is growing extremely rapidly. Last year, they did over $50 billion in sales on their website alone. They often will reach out to you and ask you to start selling in their retail stores alone. And Walmart did over $500 billion in sales in their retail stores. So by selling on Walmart.com, if you do well, you're going to get access to their retail stores as well. So this is a huge opportunity. There's also no monthly subscription fee when you're selling on Walmart.com. They only charge you a percentage of all the sales that you make. The biggest con when selling on Walmart.com is it's way smaller than Amazon. It only makes up around 6.3% of all e-commerce sales. You can also sell on websites like eBay and Etsy, and with all these platforms, it's a lot easier to make money on these platforms than trying to create your own website because they already have customers going to the website that are looking to buy things every single day. But there are some cons when selling on platforms like these. The biggest con is you're going to have to pay a fee. With Amazon, it's usually around 15% of whatever you sell, but there is a trick that I'll show you in that free Amazon FBA course to get that fee down to only 5%. Another con with selling on all these platforms is they can kick you off whenever they want. However, when you create a website using Shopify or Woocommerce or one of these other platforms, they can't kick you off because you own the website. But warning, be careful with Shopify because I have heard people getting kicked off of Shopify. And I'm gonna reveal which of all these platforms is the best to use because I wanna encourage you to start your own online passive income business. And I'll announce the winner in just 20 seconds, but if you are looking for some extra help starting your own online business, I do have a complete Amazon FBA course. There is a link in the description down below if you want more information on that. It has over 100 step-by-step lessons, weekly Q&A calls, and a bunch of other bonuses. Now I'm gonna announce the winner and let you know which platform you should use to start your online store. And it really comes down to 3 of them: Amazon, Shopify, and Woocommerce. Depending on what you're selling on Amazon makes so much sense. You're gonna make so much money so much quicker than any of the other platforms. But even if you are selling on Amazon, you're still gonna wanna create your own online store, your own website. And so then I'd recommend either Woocommerce or Shopify. And I'll say, if you're on a budget and you don't know how well your e-commerce business is going to do, I recommend going with Woocommerce. It's a great beginner platform and it's extremely affordable and easy to set up. However, if you're looking to have a more professional e-commerce business, something that's going to be doing over $10,000 every single month, I'd recommend going with Shopify because Shopify is built from the ground up for e-commerce. And yes, Shopify is more expensive, but in the long run, it's probably gonna be money very well spent. And if you are planning on signing up with any of these platforms, I have discounted links in the description down below, including discounted WooCommerce hosting and discounted Shopify plans. But if you're looking to create your own Amazon FBA business, you can click on this video right here. It's a free 8-hour course. I put so much time and energy into it, so make sure you click on that video and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.